TV soap news and spoilers say that nestled in the heart of Fairmont Crest, a picturesque town where manicured lawns and stately mansions hide a labyrinth of secrets, the events of June 12, 2025, have left the community reeling. Beyond the Gates, the exclusive enclave where the elite of Fairmont Crest reside, has become a stage for deception, betrayal, and unrelenting ambition. Today, our channel delves deep into the dramatic and intricate stories that unfolded, painting a vivid picture of a town on the brink of chaos. From cunning manipulations to hidden truths, the residents of Beyond the Gates are entangled in a web that threatens to unravel their carefully curated lives. At the center of this storm is Katrina "Kat" Harper, a woman whose relentless pursuit of justice, or perhaps vengeance, has set Fairmont Crest ablaze with intrigue. Kat's obsession with exposing Leslie Thornton and her daughter, Eva, as the masterminds behind Laura Richardson's near-fatal accident has reached a fever pitch. Laura, now recovered and back at her post as the Richardson family's trusted confidant, has become an unwitting pawn in Kat's dangerous game. But Kat's actions on June 12 pushed the boundaries of morality and legality, casting a shadow over her motives. In a daring and illicit move, Kat broke into Eva's hotel room at the opulent Crestview Hotel, a gleaming monument to Fairmont Crest's wealth. Under the cover of darkness, she rifled through Eva's belongings, her heart pounding with the thrill of discovery. Her target? A motorcycle helmet and a pair of leather gloves, items she believed Leslie used in the hit-and-run that left Laura fighting for her life. With the precision of a seasoned operative, Kat stole the evidence and slipped into Leslie's upscale apartment in Beyond the Gates, planting the items in a place where they would be easily found. Kat's plan was as audacious as it was sinister. She manipulated Jacob Martinez, a detective with a reputation for dogged determination, into securing a second search warrant for Leslie's home. Jacob, unaware of Kat's machinations, took the bait. The search warrant was executed with swift efficiency, and the police uncovered the helmet and gloves exactly where Kat had hidden them. The discovery sent shockwaves through Beyond the Gates, with neighbors whispering behind closed doors about Leslie's potential guilt. Leslie Thornton, a woman known for her poise and ability to stay under the radar, was blindsided. As the police presented the damning evidence, her face drained of color, her usual composure shattered. "This is impossible," she stammered, her voice trembling with a mix of confusion and fear. The helmet and gloves were indeed hers, but she had no memory of using them in any crime. The evidence painted a grim picture, yet without DNA to conclusively tie her to the accident, the police were forced to release her. Leslie's luck, it seemed, was holding for now. But the whispers of suspicion grew louder, and the walls of Beyond the Gates seemed to close in around her. Kat, however, was far from satisfied. Her vendetta against Leslie and Eva burned brighter than ever. She spent sleepless nights poring over every detail of the case, convinced that the mother and daughter were hiding a deeper truth. Her obsession was not merely professional, it was personal. Kat's history with the Thornton family was fraught with resentment, rooted in a past betrayal that had left her scarred. To Kat, exposing Leslie and Eva was not just about justice for Laura. It was about settling an old score. While Kat schemed in the shadows, Eva Thornton found herself at a crossroads that could alter the course of her life. Eva, a young woman with a quiet strength and a longing for purpose, had recently confided in her father, Ted Thornton, about her discontent. Though grateful for the job Ted had secured for her at a local firm, Eva's heart remained with the Richardson family, where she had once served as an assistant. The role had given her a sense of belonging, a connection to the inner workings of Fairmont Crest's most influential household. But that chapter had closed or so she thought. On June 12th, Ted, a man of considerable influence in Fairmont Crest, made a surprising move. In a private meeting at his sleek downtown office, he extended an offer to Eva that caught her off guard, a position working directly under him. The role would place Eva at the heart of Thornton Enterprises, a conglomerate that wielded immense power in the town. It was an opportunity to step out of her mother's shadow and carve her own path, but it came with a price. Fans of Beyond the Gates will recall that Kat once held a similar position in Ted's office, assisting with high-stakes deals and managing the family's public image. Kat's tenure had been marked by fierce loyalty and relentless ambition, qualities that had made her indispensable until her priorities shifted. In recent months, Kat had thrown herself into helping her friend Chelsea launch a luxury handbag line, a venture that had consumed her time and energy. More significantly, Kat's involvement in Laura's accident case had transformed her into a one-woman crusade, leaving little room for her former duties at Thornton Enterprises. Ted's offer to Eva was more than a job opportunity. It was a potential catalyst for chaos. If Eva accepted, she would be stepping into Kat's old role, a move that would undoubtedly ignite Kat's resentment. The bad blood between Kat and Eva was no secret in Beyond the Gates. Their rivalry, fueled by years of slights and misunderstandings, had simmered beneath the surface, waiting for a spark to set it ablaze. Ted's offer could be that spark, threatening to escalate their feud into an all-out war. Eva, torn between loyalty to her family and the allure of a fresh start, wrestled with the decision. She knew that accepting the position would place her in Kat's crosshairs, but the prospect of working closely with her father and proving herself in Fairmont Crest's cutthroat world was tempting. As she stood at the window of her hotel room, gazing out at the glittering lights of the town, Eva felt the weight of her choice. Little did she know that Kat had already violated that very space, setting in motion a chain of events that would test her resolve. Across town, another drama was unfolding, one that threatened to tear apart a marriage and expose a long-buried secret. Bradley "Smitty" Smith, a seasoned investigator known for his sharp instincts and unyielding dedication, was assigned a new case on June 12th. The assignment came from the highest echelons of Fairmont Crest's police department, a directive to dig into the affairs of Martin Caldwell, a prominent figure in Beyond the Gates. Martin, a charismatic businessman with a carefully crafted public persona, was hiding a secret that could destroy everything he had built. Only two others knew the truth: his wife, Anita, and his closest confidant, Vernon. The trio had gone to great lengths to keep the secret buried, but whispers had begun to surface, catching the attention of the authorities. Smitty's investigation was poised to unearth the truth, but at what cost? Smitty's husband, Daniel, was no stranger to the demands of his partner's job. As a therapist who had counseled many of Fairmont Crest's elite, Daniel understood the toll that investigative work could take. But this case was different. Martin's secret was not just a professional matter, it was personal. Daniel, unbeknownst to Smitty, had ties to Martin that he had kept hidden, fearing the consequences of exposure. As Smitty began to dig, Daniel's attempts to cover up the truth grew increasingly desperate, straining their marriage to the breaking point. On the evening of June 12th, tensions boiled over in the Smith household. Smitty, exhausted from a long day of chasing leads, confronted Daniel about his evasiveness. "You're hiding something," Smitty said, his voice low but firm. "I can feel it." Daniel, caught off guard, struggled to maintain his composure. The air between them crackled with unspoken accusations, and for the first time in years, Smitty wondered if he truly knew the man he had married. The investigation into Martin's secret was more than just a case, it was a ticking time bomb. As Smitty followed the trail of clues, He uncovered fragments of a story that painted Martin, Anita, and Vernon in a damning light. Each revelation brought him closer to the truth, but it also widened the chasm between him and Daniel. The residents of Beyond the Gates watched from afar, sensing that Smitty's pursuit could unravel not just Martin's life, but the fragile harmony of their community. As the sun set over Fairmont Crest on June 12, 2025, Beyond the Gates buzzed with anticipation and dread. Kat's machinations had cast a shadow over Leslie and Eva, threatening to upend their lives. Ted's offer to Eva had set the stage for a showdown that could redefine alliances in the town. And Smitty's investigation into Martin's secret had placed his marriage and the secrets of Beyond the Gates at risk. The residents of this exclusive enclave were no strangers to scandal, but the events of this day felt different. There was a sense that the carefully constructed facades of Fairmont Crest were beginning to crack, revealing the raw, unfiltered truth beneath. For Leslie, the planted evidence was a warning that her enemies were closing in. For Eva, Ted's offer was a chance to rise or a trap that could ensnare her in Kat's wrath.